Hello. This video is what I would have wanted to have watched when I was trying to decide whether and how to build a LowRider CNC designed by V1 Engineering. The flexible design and build documentation and software are all free and open to access. The project's continuously improving and backed by an active community that's been growing over the past 7 years, probably longer. Sharing my build journey will hopefully help better inform the decisions and experience of your build. I'm not going to cover CNC software and tuning or troubleshooting details here. I have included a super fast index build montage, but let me know if sharing slower content for specific steps would help. But first, here's some what and why, in case you're wondering what you can even do with a CNC, or rather what a CNC can do for you. In short, businesses and hobbyists typically use CNCs to cut, carve, drill, surface, finish various materials, like wood's a common one, but also plastics, paper, cardboard, foam, carbon fiber, aluminum, and other soft metals. Here's a link for some things that people are building with their V1E machines. Crazier makers out there are modifying this Cartesian gantry platform to paint, draw, scan, laser etch and cut, or attach plasma torches to even cut steel. It's very flexible. The LowRider3, like other V1E projects, and there are many, is a flexible design that enabled me to build a great CNC that would normally cost 10 times more than the $900 or so that I paid for easy to source materials. I ended up here because I've outgrown my 18-month-old baby-sized Genmitsu CNC, a very popular starter CNC. But after adding the 340 extension, an enclosure, a better spindle, and some other upgrades, I've spent over $630. Yet I'm still stuck with a small size relatively low powered machine that limits and slows the kind of projects that I can do. On reflection, I wish I'd built a V1E MPCNC, or mostly printed CNC, 18 months ago instead. Today though, I think the LowRider3 can be a good fit for the bold and willing among you to actually build as your first CNC. Having some 3D printing experience will definitely help, but it isn't required. Right? Your LowRider can be whatever size you want. Right? 2 foot by 4 foot seems to be common among the community. I built my LowRider large enough to cut full-size 4 foot by 8 foot panels and slabs. Even a cheap, similar-sized commercial CNC would have cost over $10,000. The table alone would probably have cost more than my entire build. Plus, the portable design of the LowRider lets me quickly stow it away or even relocate or repurpose my LowRider onto some other smaller flat surface for different jobs without having to fill the garage the entire time. So now, my LowRider admittedly is not going to be as fast as some of the commercial CNCs out there, but it's powerful and fast enough and capable for my currently planned projects. So for me, it's a good fit. For example, I've saved a bunch of trees from being turned into firewood by the water utility company that chopped them down when they were replacing the neighborhood's water main. Don helped turn the trunks into slabs and lumber for Matt and I to use on the future projects. My LowRider will be surfacing and maybe even carving some of those large slabs, which we can turn into big tables and other things. We'll see. Sub if you wanted to. There's a bunch of cheap and DIY CNC projects out there. This isn't the only one. I also considered Maslow, but ended up building LowRider, not just for the name, but mainly because of the accuracy afforded by the design. The community was a huge factor, and the great drama-free, objective reviews of the previous LowRider version by people like Teaching Tech, they also, I think, helped influence me into discovering and deciding to go with this latest version of the project. The active V1E community are constantly creating and sharing mods. For example, my build uses Doug Joseph's neat case for the controller and the TFT screen. V1E sell printed and milled parts for people that don't have time or tools to make them. Fortunately, I was able to 3D print and mill parts before starting assembly. Milled plates are best, but they can be 3D printed too if you want. It's up to you, it's your build. Even better, the designer, Ryan, sells reasonably priced kits and controllers with software already preloaded. So I didn't need to burn time either sourcing parts or burning firmware onto the controller. So yeah, getting the kit saved me a bunch of time at a really reasonable price. So I could just focus on the build, which has been awesome. Cue build montage. Alright, so this is the core for our LowRider3 Rainbow Edition, designed by the V1 engineering team together with some lovely silky purple and black PLA parts, together with a few aluminum and MDF plates. And we've got the PETG hose hangers being printed off right now. And so now, I think it's time to open this massively heavy box of controllers and parts and other hardware that Ryan from the V1 engineering team sent to us. I'm going to get that open and get this done. All right then, my LowRider, it's done. Enough that it can be used for other projects. It's a tool, a useful tool, but it's also a project that I expect to keep upgrading. Thank you for your time. I hope this video was helpful, informative, or just fun to watch even. Either way, please let me know in the comments below. I want to keep learning and improving. Maybe detailed videos or some of the trickier steps or upgrades would help. Check out the V1E forums if you're struggling with your build or just want to learn more about the project. Please consider liking and subscribing if you want to see more content like this in the future or want to help the YouTube algos guide more people this way. Makers, we want to guide the makers here. I don't want to waste random people's time. I want to help makers. Cheers.